Imagine a brand new airport, gleaming with state-of-the-art technology, ready to welcome millions of passengers. Except no one comes. No planes, no passengers, just silence. This is the story of the Brandenburg Berlin Airport, a $7 billion ghost town that became one of the most infamous infrastructure disasters in modern history. But this isn't just a tale of failure. It's a story of ambition, chaos, and an against-all-odds comeback that will leave you questioning how something so promising could go so wrong, and how it somehow managed to rise from the ashes. Picture this: a project meant to symbolize the reunification of Germany, a beacon of progress after the fall of the Berlin Wall, spirals into a 30-year saga of mismanagement, design flaws, and political infighting. Thousands of faults, a fire safety system that didn't work, and a grand opening canceled just weeks before the ribbon was supposed to be cut. It was a disaster so colossal, it became a national embarrassment. But here's the twist. Despite all the chaos, the Brandenburg Berlin Airport didn't just open, it thrived. How did a project once dubbed a monument to incompetence turn itself around? And what does its story reveal about the cost of ambition and the power of resilience? In this video, we'll take you behind the scenes of one of the most controversial construction projects in history. From its visionary beginnings to its catastrophic failures, and finally, to its unexpected redemption. This is the story of how a dream nearly collapsed under the weight of its own ambition, and how it finally took flight. Buckle up, because this is a journey you won't forget. The story of the Brandenburg Berlin Airport begins with a dream, a big dream. After the Berlin Wall fell in 1989, Germany was reuniting, and Berlin was becoming one city again. Leaders wanted a symbol of this new unity, something to show the world that Berlin was back as a major European capital. What better way to do that than with a world-class airport? The plan was bold. Replace Berlin's 3 old, outdated airports with one massive, modern hub. It would be a gateway to the world, a place to welcome millions of travelers, and a sign that Berlin was ready for the future. But dreams don't always go as planned. The project, which started in the 1990s, quickly ran into trouble. First, there were delays in choosing the right location. Finally, they picked a spot next to the existing Schönefeld Airport. Construction began, but it was slow. Then came the 2008 financial crisis, which made everything even harder. Money was tight, and the project kept getting more expensive. By this point, the airport was already years behind schedule. The biggest problems, though, were the mistakes. In 2012, just weeks before the grand opening, inspectors found a huge problem. The fire safety system didn't work. Thousands of cables were installed incorrectly, and the smoke ventilation system was a disaster. The opening was canceled, and the airport became a laughingstock. People called it a monument to incompetence. The cost, which was supposed to be around 2 billion euros, had already ballooned to over 6 billion euros. And the delays kept coming. Year after year, the airport sat empty, a ghostly reminder of what could have been. So, what went wrong? The answer is almost everything. First, the project was split into hundreds of small contracts, which made it impossible to manage. Different companies were working on different parts, and no one was talking to each other. Then there were the design changes. The airport was supposed to handle big planes like the Airbus A380, but the plans kept changing. They added more gates for budget airlines, redesigned the terminals, and even argued about how much retail space there should be. Every change meant more delays and more money. The chief architect, Meinhard von Gerken, was constantly fighting with politicians. He wanted a sleek, modern design, but they kept adding new requirements. At one point, he even called the airport a junk construction site. In 2012, after the fire safety disaster, von Gerken was fired. A new leader, Hartmut Medorn, was brought in to fix the mess. But when he started digging, he found over 550,000 faults. It was a nightmare. By 2017, the cost had risen to 7 billion euros, and people were starting to wonder if the airport would ever open. There were talks of canceling the project altogether, but by then, too much money had been spent, and Berlin desperately needed a new airport. So they kept going, fixing one problem at a time. Finally, in October 2020, after 14 years of construction and countless delays, the Brandenburg Berlin Airport opened its doors. But there was a twist. It opened in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. At first, this seemed like another disaster. With travel bans and lockdowns, almost no one was flying. But in a strange way, the pandemic helped. The low passenger numbers gave the airport time to fix its remaining problems without the pressure of full-scale operations. It was a silver lining in a very dark cloud. By 2022, as travel began to recover, the airport was ready. It had fixed its technical issues, streamlined its operations, and even started using AI to improve efficiency. In 2023, it won the Airport Innovation Award and earned a respectable Skytrax rating. Passenger numbers grew, and for the first time, the airport started to feel like the world-class hub it was meant to be. Today, the Brandenburg Berlin Airport stands as a symbol of resilience. It's a reminder that even the biggest failures can be turned around with determination and hard work. The dream of a unified Berlin, represented by this airport, has finally taken flight. And while the journey was anything but smooth, the destination was worth it. So, what's the legacy of the Brandenburg Berlin Airport? It's a story of highs and lows, of dreams and disasters, but most importantly, it's a story of resilience. This airport, once a symbol of failure, has become a testament to what can be achieved when people refuse to give up. It's a reminder that even the most ambitious projects can face setbacks, but with determination, they can still succeed. When the airport finally opened in 2020, it wasn't just a victory for Berlin. It was a victory for everyone who believed in the project. The COVID-19 pandemic, which could have been another setback, actually gave the airport a chance to fix its problems without the pressure of thousands of passengers. By the time travel resumed, the airport was ready. Today, the Brandenburg Berlin Airport is more than just a transportation hub. It's a symbol of Berlin's resilience and its ability to adapt. It's a place where the past and the future meet, where the lessons of failure have been turned into opportunities for growth. The airport has won awards for innovation and earned praise for its efficiency, proving that it's possible to rise from the ashes of disaster. But the story doesn't end here. The airport continues to grow, welcoming more passengers every year and expanding its services. It's a living example of how a city can learn from its mistakes and build something better. For the people of Berlin, especially those in the East, who once saw air travel as a symbol of freedom, this airport is a source of pride. It's a reminder that no matter how difficult the journey, the destination can be worth it. So, the next time you hear about a big project facing challenges, remember the Brandenburg Berlin Airport. It's proof that even the most troubled beginnings can lead to a successful future. And as the airport continues to thrive, it stands as a beacon of hope, showing us that with perseverance, even the biggest dreams can take flight.